The great geniuses of the 21st century. A core finding of the research for this paper was that both creative and entrepreneurial skills are essential to be a great 21st century genius. This also entails having strong management skills and understanding how to manage people and resources, especially in an arduous environment where perseverance is key. For instance, you could have an idea on the technology front or a business model innovation, but without the ability to develop it into something viable, i.e. build a team around it, it would remain just an idle thought floating inside your head with little possibility of being brought to life. This is especially true now, particularly since we are well into the digital age when developers can create almost anything given time and money. Not forgetting anyone can purchase a company for a fraction of its worth if they're intelligent enough not to get scammed, i.e. from the management side. What this means is that traditional business models are less relevant and there will be greater demand for entrepreneurship in the future, as opposed to people using their skills within organizations because they could be bought out or just being absorbed by other companies for cheaper prices. The emergence of the gig economy. This has serious implications on people's career choices, since it would mean students need to start thinking about these things earlier than what they do now. Otherwise, you might find yourself wasting 10 years of your life doing something that isn't meaningful at all, or even worse, things end up like doctors getting laid off due to automation while they were studying medicine. What is also clear from this research is that you can't be a true 21st century genius if you're not interested in the liberal arts and humanities. The reason for this goes back to what I said before about how the world has changed since we've entered into the digital age. It means that education now needs to change over time to cater for these changes, and unfortunately, most of the emphasis right now is still placed on science and math because students feel they need it more than anything else in their lives, while business schools are also pushing STEM as their top priority, i.e. creating lucrative jobs. Because otherwise, those who study entrepreneurship might be limited in terms of employment opportunities in comparison to other graduates. What this means is that you need to have all the skills in your quiver, otherwise, if there is a gap in any of them because of what you've studied or not studying at all, then that would be a risk for you either later on when it's time to start thinking about finding a job, or worse, things like your education being worth next to nothing whenever automation takes over in its entirety. If we are living in an age where having STEM skills aren't enough anymore and everyone needs to study the liberal arts and humanities as well, then people should take heed sooner rather than later so they can change their mindset accordingly. At the end of the day though, I don't think anyone ever really wants to live forever, since life was never meant to be lived like that in the first place. It's really important, therefore, for each person to know their time and when they've had enough. To me though, I'd rather die at a ripe old age than end up living forever but being stuck in a coma or something similar, because there's no point wasting away my life if I can't enjoy it, and especially since we live in an age where technology has made it possible for us to have extraordinary means of enjoying ourselves, even more so than what people were able to do before.